everybody, it's me, the Cool Boys Comics, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering the Pepsi World the Sprite World guide. So let's get right into it. So this is the Sprite World portal. Now, I like the old name, the glowing portal, but it's now called Sprite World. And the key is some anime dude. So this is it. You go through a bunch of trails, like hoping that you find it. And you're going to give up before you find it. That's just only a fact. I hate to say it. Actually, I don't hate to say it. Not my problem. Ha! These are the screenshots. The top left is random enemies. Top right is just walking through. Bottom left is like a dead end. And the bottom right is Lemon. I meant Limon. The Sprite goddess. We will look into later. So the enemies are going to be a bunch of these... Craig, is that you? No, these are just the Sprites and the Pepsis. Here, can you see Native Greater Darkness Sprite? That looks like a bottle of Coke Zero. Yeah, these are the Sprites, Native Sprite Gods, which I think can drop attack. And these bubbly things, these pieces of coral known as the environment of the trees, the Sprite trees. We first got this burnt shrub known as the Native Darkness Sprite, who has 100 HP, no defense, but 40 XP, so it's decent for leveling. Now, it may be cute in low health, but it does pack quite a punch for new players, 28 damage. Oh, who cares? And it drops health and magic potions, which everything drops. Now, this is the native fire spirit, and Sprite. And God, it actually looks like a fire. They actually got a Sprite one, good for once. Who's got the usual 100 HP and 40 XP. And the basic red bullet of 27 damage. Now, I know it's the exact same as the previous one, but if you like, you can get some decent T5s. I don't think anyone cares about it. This is the polar opposite of the fire spirit, the ice spirit. I meant Sprite. That was a pretty cringe joke. It's got the basic 100 HP and 40 XP. But it has a croissant. That's not a crescent, that's a croissant. It does 24 damage and slows you for 1.6 seconds. God, if this guy's a marathon fan, he doesn't want you to win. He doesn't like marathons. And he drops tier 2 rings, not bad. Now, this looks like it just came out of Harry Potter. It's the native magic Sprite. Usual stats. This one has a croissant that does 18 damage, so it's a little weaker. But not only it can drop tier 2 abilities, it could also drop a Sprite wand, which is a pretty good wand. Now this looks like it came out of Lord of the Rings or the Hobbits, the native nature Sprite. Usual and basic stats. And this guy hits the hardest with 30 damage. But you can get some T6 armors. Now this is where the guys get a little stronger. It's a native greater darkness Sprite, aka the bottle of Coke Zero. He's got a whopping 1000 HP and 6 defense and 40 XP. And it has a powerful bullet that does 42 damage, so good luck. But you can get a Sprite wand. Like, Sprite wand isn't really the best for battling, but you can feed it to your pet or forge it or something. Now this Sprite actually looks pretty cool. It's the native greater fire Sprite. It's got the same stats as the Darkness Sprite, the big one. But it's not as powerful though. It only has a bullet that does 33 damage. You can get some tier 6 weapons and a Sprite wand. Not bad. Meet the Icy Tornado. Usual stats for the big one. And a croissant that slows you for 1.6 seconds. Wow, the little one's actually stronger than him. But you can get tier 3 rings, which are pretty good, especially the health ones. Now that little one looked like it came out of Harry Potter. This one looks like it came out of, I don't know, the series Merlin. It's a good series, go watch it. Usual big boy stats. And this homie is gonna kill you with 39 damage. The croissant. But it's also a boomerang. That's kinda cool. But it can drop tier 3 abilities, which are pretty decent. And this right one. Now this looks like something that came out of a Disney movie. It's the... These names are so long. Native Greater Nature Sprite. Usual stats. 37 bullet damage, which can leave you on a brace. It drops pretty decent stuff like T7 armor. Now these are the native Sprite gods. Oh, these are basically the guys who are the second strongest. These guys have 3,500 HP and 250 XP and 12 defense. Now these guys can shoot 100 damage bullets, crescents that can silence you for 4 seconds, and boomerang 90 damage bullets, crescents that do nothing. But that crescent does nothing. Crescents that can slow, crescents that silence you. The big red 50 damage bullets. Croissants that can silence you. Most croissants that can silence you. I think they have different ranges. And 120 damage bullets. And another croissant that can silence you. And these guys could drop decent stuff though. They could drop tier 6 weapons, tier 6 armors, tier 7 weapons, tier 8 weapons, tier 8 armors, tier 9 armors, tier 4 abilities, and tier 3 rings. They could drop pet eggs, and even an attack if you're lucky. Which is, I think, is way better deal than like a puppet or a mana. And there's only one more guy here. My buddy Craig. Now this guy could give you 1,500 XP at the core of Oryx. And he does no damage, so that's that. Now we got the big boy. Lemon Sprite Goddess. Cool. So I'll just go over her phases first. She just starts by running around shooting you, and I think she tries to like pop you sometimes. So it got me a few times. Also, yeah. Also, I think there's these bullets that kind of cover the corners and go down the middle, and so that's kind of annoying. And then she can either swap into these 4 phases. One is the dark phase. It's like where she just throws attacks from every corner, runs around. There's the blue phase, which is just a bunch of croissants that slow you. Yeah, the blue phase is the easiest. The green phase, which I think is the hardest, she runs around throwing powerful attacks at you. And the black, and which phase did I miss? Oh yeah, and like I don't even know what color phase that is. That phase, I kind of forgot. But I'm pretty sure it's powerful. Soloing, she's got 1,200 HP, 16 defense, and 2,000 XP. She has bullets that do 70, 70, 75, 90, 65, 105, 75, 115, and 100, which are like charge attacks. Also, her Lemon elements that can do 50 damage, and 80 damage, and 50 damage, and 40 damage, and 80 damage, and 35 damage, and 30 damage, 20 damage, which can slow you for 1.6 seconds, and 50 damage. Also, these are the Lemon elements. And time to get into the good stuff. And congratulations, you beat the Sprite World. So here's your rewards. You get like a token or mark from Lemon, which you can get for dexterity potions. She could also drop a dex, which is guaranteed drop. If you're lucky, she could get a defense. You could get attack for the native Sprite gods. You could get ink from Lemon. The Sprite one, the nature spirits can drop, but Sprites. And Lemon can drop the 3 white bags, the big bubbly mace that everyone uses, the cloak of the Planewalker, which is really good. It's like a combination of a rogue and a trickster, and the staff of the extreme prejudice, which makes you like a hobbit mage, but better. And also there's the orange bag ring, which kind of sucks. So that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. We can hopefully get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. It would mean a lot to me. And I'm a little sick today, so if you're a nerd, get out of here. Bye.